All right, there we go. All right. Hey, hey, I see there's 10 of you already waiting on us to open it up. So say hello to Grace. We're so excited. Grace is here. Yay! And we are going to wait until 6 o'clock, and then we're going to dive in to all the goodness that Grace has to offer us. Hi, Kayla. And remember, we're in StreamYard, so if you did not give StreamYard permission to see your name, then it's just going to come up a user and it won't have your name on there. So, but so far, I can see you. Hi, Stephanie. Yes, I am so excited to. Been looking forward to this ever since Grace and I talked, I guess, several weeks ago and put this on the calendar. We're so excited. Awesome. All right. Well, we have, yay. All right. We've got more joining us, Grace, but I know that for a lot of us, like it's a lot later than we typically work. So I want to get right to all of your goodness.
Yeah,
it is being recorded. Yay. So as people jump on, people just say hello. We do have Grace with us today. Grace is with Social Accountant. And if you are inside of my Facebook group, Rescue My Bookkeeping Business, you know that I love everything that Grace has. We talk about Grace all the time. Lots of my coaching clients have had wonderful success with all of your products, Grace. So I just really want to have you in the group. You are the marketing guru, as I refer to you as, over in the group, to give us all of your goodness, give us some tips and tricks how to grow our bookkeeping business.
Awesome.
So I'm going to turn it over to you, Grace. And guys, if you have questions as Grace is talking, pop them in the comments. She is going to have a Q&A here at the end as well. So Grace, I'm just going to turn it over to you. That's cool.
Okay, sounds good. So I do have the slides with me. So first, I just want to say a big thank you to Stephanie for having me and do this live in her amazing community. I've actually been following Stephanie for a few years now, even before I started Social Accountant, because I was a bookkeeper for 8 years, and I was kind of deciding if I wanted to start my own bookkeeping business or if I wanted to do something else. But I got into Social Accountant. But Stephanie, she provides a ton of value, and she's been in the industry for a long time. So she knows what she's talking about. So thank you again, Stephanie, for having me here. So today I'm actually going to be covering a very popular topic, which is how to get bookkeeping clients on social media. But before we get into the fun stuff, I just want to briefly introduce myself. My name is Grace Costa. My company is Social Mix Media, and I also run a marketing membership called Social Accountant. And we provide done-for-you social media, email, marketing, blog content for bookkeepers and accountants. And we also have an extensive template library for our members to help them grow their online business and their online presence, and then also provide training and marketing strategies to help them get clients online. So let's get started. Let's see here. All right. So before I get into the 3 marketing strategies, I'm going to touch on the business owner mindset. And then after that, I'm going to cover like the 3 marketing strategies on how to get clients on social media. And then I'm going to share one last important bonus strategy at the end before we wrap up with Q&A. So before I get into the marketing stuff, I just want to quickly touch on the business owner mindset. This isn't a mindset is everything kind of speech, but more about like the kind of mindset it takes to be a business owner and the things that you need to prioritize for your business to be successful. And I'm actually just going to talk about the mindset shift from being an employee to becoming a business owner. So back when you were an employee, you're used to working a certain amount of hours and getting paid for those hours. And it didn't matter if you were answering emails or attending a meeting or just socializing with coworkers, you were paid for those hours. On the other hand, as a business owner, you might work 20 hours and then get paid zero. And you may work another 20 hours and go negative because you need to put more money into your business. Um, but maybe on the 60th hour, you get paid $8,000. And that's entrepreneurship. Like there's a lot of uncertainty in running a business. And you just got to remember that you can only control the effort you put in, and then the results just happen. And like what Alex Hermosi says, do what is required. Your goal as a business owner, especially a new business owner, is to figure out the 2 to 3 marketing strategies you need to do on a consistent basis that will drive your business forward. And hopefully it'll be one or all of the strategies I'm going to talk about here. So the first marketing strategy I'm going to cover is to leverage your personal network. Building your personal network is probably the best marketing strategy you can do on social media, and it's absolutely free. So the first thing you want to do is to proactively grow your network. Basically, go search for your ideal clients and add them as friends. Facebook makes it really easy to search and connect with your ideal clients on social media because it has auto suggestion. So, for example, if your ideal clients are realtors, then go to your search bar from your personal page, type in realtor, and then tap in people in the top menu. And then you'll see that Facebook is first suggesting realtors that are a mutual friend, and then realtors in your area, and then realtors that have a following. So those accounts are on professional mode in Facebook. And these are all perfect examples of who to add as friends. But you have to be careful though, because Facebook will flag you down if you add too many friends at once. So I recommend just adding a handful at a time, like every other day or so. So one of the main things people forget when it comes to growing their personal network is that they focus too much on creating and pushing content that they neglect engaging with their ideal clients' content. And this is actually how you'll get their attention, is when you put your focus on them and what's happening with them. And then once you get their attention, then they'll start engaging with your content as well. And that's the goal. Now, for your content, the best type of content you can create is the type of content that provides a ton of value and positions you as an expert. You'll want to post as often as you can so Facebook can push out your content. But you don't want to have like every other post be about you selling your services or promoting your services, or else you'll get unfriended and unfollowed quickly. So I know, some people may be hesitant to do this with their personal profile on Facebook, and that's okay. You can actually follow the same tips using your business page. The only difference is that you won't be able to send them a message or a DM from your Facebook business page. You can, however, send DMs using your Instagram business page. But ultimately, with this strategy, you have to play the long game, because your goal is to build a network of your ideal clients and to build trust around your business. And once you have this foundation set in place, getting clients will happen naturally. There are some things to accelerate the process, which I'm going to share one of them in the next slide. So here's an example post you can do on your personal page or even on your business page if you have followers there. But basically, you're sharing your referral program. You're letting your audience know that you're accepting new clients and that you're offering a $50 gift card or it could be a $25 gift card in exchange for referrals. And if they have a referral for you, they can send you a message. And the great thing about this post is that you can post this as often as you like, maybe like every other month or so. So the next marketing strategy is to join Facebook groups. Facebook groups are still a really great way to network and find your ideal clients. And a lot of people are still engaging in Facebook groups. And a lot of them use Facebook groups for advice. And it could be a marketing strategy all on its own. But for the sake of efficiency and to still get the most out of Facebook groups, I recommend doing these three things and do them in this order. So the first thing you want to do is search for business, entrepreneur, and networking groups that are in your city, in your state, and in your niche and in your industry. And then also um, mom, dad, women, entrepreneur groups. There's no limit to how many Facebook groups you can join, but I definitely recommend um, make a note of the ones that you've joined. This way you can keep track of the important ones. So the next thing you want to do after you are invited, after you've been accepted, is to introduce yourself. In this intro post, do not push or promote any of your services. Just introduce yourself as a helpful resource for those that have bookkeeping and QuickBooks related questions. I actually have a script that you can use the next slide for an intro post. And then lastly, after you have published your intro post, go directly to the search bar and type bookkeeping or QuickBooks or tax keywords and see if there were any recent posts of anyone asking for bookkeeping or QuickBooks or tax help. And if you see any, then just simply answer their question and let them know how to contact you if they need help. You will need to handle like each post or comment differently, but the main goal is to have them contact you, or even better, get their permission to send you a message, to send them a message. And in the next slide, I'm going to share what to say in that intro post. So here's an example of a intro post for Facebook group. Basically, you're introducing yourself, um, and what you do and why you do what you do. And then in the last part, you're going to offer to answer any questions that they have about bookkeeping or QuickBooks. You're not selling your services and or promoting it. You're just introducing yourself as a helpful resource. So I recommend posting the same intro post. You can change it up however you like to fit, your voice in all of the business groups that you join and get accepted to. And then I also recommend doing this to existing posts you're already in as well. All right, so I'm moving on to the third marketing strategy, and this is how to authentically start DM conversations. This is one of our more popular strategies that we do for our members, but there are a few key things to make this effective. While you can still use Facebook when you get a new friend and you want to send them a DM, you can use this. However, this is ideal for Instagram mainly because Facebook has really strict community rules, and if you get just a couple of blocks from people, then Facebook will flag you. So Instagram is a better platform for DM outreach. But for this to effectively work, you need a niche, and that niche needs to be active and responsive on Instagram. And what I mean by this is your ideal client also actively marketing their services on Instagram? Are they marketing their business? If so, then they are more likely to engage back and respond in the DMs. And when they're checking their DMs, that's a great sign. So just like marketing strategy number one, you want to go to the search bar, and in this example, we'll continue with realtor, and you'll search realtor or real estate agent, and just like Facebook, Instagram also has auto suggestion. So I recommend following several of those realtors, um, and then Instagram will also continue to suggest a few more. Um, and then for those realtors that you just followed, you can send them a DM introducing yourself. And the reason why you don't want to sell your services in the first message is because they will most likely not respond back. But if you introduce yourself as a helpful resource, they'll put their guard down and may actually read your message. In the next slide, I'll share that DM script to use in your first message. So here's an example of what to say in your first DM message. Basically, you're introducing yourself, you're an expert in this field, and you're offering to answer any questions they have about bookkeeping or QuickBooks that they may have. Again, you're not selling your services, you're just introducing yourself as a helpful resource. And to those that respond back, just simply answer their questions and then let them know how to contact you after if they need further help. You'll need to handle each reply differently, but the main goal is to get their email, or even better, have them book a call with you if they're interested in your service. And if you get to that point, then congratulations. So the next slide, I'm going to be talking about one of the best marketing strategies, in my opinion, and that's client retention. Um, And like Alex Hermosi says, sell to someone once and get paid forever. And I actually believe that a bookkeeping business is one of the best business models out there for this simple reason. And it's because most clients tend to stick with you for the duration of their business for as long as possible, which is your ultimate goal. Now, keeping a client seems like a no-brainer, but you'll be surprised how often client retention is overlooked. So that's why I want to cover a few things about client retention, starting with nurturing client relationships. So just sending a birthday card to your client, or sending them a holiday greeting every year shows that you actually care about them and that you thought about them, outside of the work that you do. But you'll be surprised how meaningful and thoughtful these kind of gestures are, especially when clients aren't expecting it. And the key thing for client retention is to be a proactive problem solver for your client. So for example, if your niche is interior designers, you can help them with job costing their projects, or you can help them set up their sales tax for products that they sell and things like that. And being an expert and guide for them is really what's going to make them recommend you even more. So instead of, them just recommending you as their bookkeeper for, 5 years plus, 5 years and plus, they'll say something like, and she's an expert you know, in this industry or in this field. And that's the goal, like, because when your clients and other people can position you as the expert and someone that they can also trust, potential clients will happily pay your value, and that makes selling your services 100% easier. And then lastly, you should provide an opportunity for your existing clients to receive something of value when they refer you to others. And that could be like a credit to their next invoice or a gift card, whatever is fair for you and for them. So that wraps up the presentation. I hope that, you guys found some of the things to be helpful. And then I hope you guys can start using the strategies this week. All of the strategies that I've covered are all free organic marketing strategies. It just requires some effort on your part on a consistent basis. So now I think
Thank you.
we're ready for some Q&A.
Yes, yes. There was one I saw in the chat, Grace. Someone says, and I know you kind of covered this, but if you could go a little bit more in depth on like reaching out to people on Facebook. We'll start with Facebook, for
Yeah.
example. Is it better to do that on a personal level or on your business page? What do you see the best success with?
It's really however you feel comfortable with. I use my personal page, as I have followers as well, but I use it mostly for my personal. I do a lot of my marketing, and it depends on also because I have a different business model. I do a lot of my marketing on email and things like that. But as a bookkeeping business, that offers high ticket, offers, I think the trust, is going to be really important there. So I think, if you're comfortable with opening up your personal profile to, other people, to other friends that are your ideal clients, then that's totally up to you. You can do these strategies just as effectively using a business page. It might just take a little bit longer because if you want to do like a DM outreach, then you won't be able to do that on Facebook, but you can do that on Instagram. So that's kind of what my take on that. So it's just whatever you feel comfortable with. And also Facebook allows you to actually send, like, select which group that you want to send your post to. So if it's a personal photo that you want to share with family and friends, then you can just select that group, and those realtor friends or your ideal client friends won't see that post. And then you can also do the same thing, but you can create a post just specifically for your realtor, still using the same profile. You just have to make that selection when you publish that post. I hope that
Absolutely.
makes
I
sense.
agree with you. Yeah, it does. And I completely agree with you. And I will say, just from my own personal experience, I have grown more using my personal page on Facebook, business page on Instagram. For some reason, it just doesn't. It's different, right? Different platforms, different
Yeah.
rules.
Mhm.
But yeah, it's like if you are a private person, and there's nothing wrong with being private. I'm an open book, so I don't even switch it on my Facebook page anymore. But if you want to keep like your kids private and you don't want your kids to be shown on social media, I totally respect that. Then
Mhm.
just turn it off where it's only a certain group of people. It's not a public post and everybody can't see it.
Exactly.
So that's my 2 cents on it personally. But
Yeah, that's awesome.
yes. Let's see. Catherine says that auto suggestion is actually how she found both of us, Grace. So your tip there obviously worked. Okay.
Yeah, thanks
Um,
Facebook. Thanks
yeah.
Instagram.
Lakeisha asks, how do you feel about having another personal page? I know Facebook now allows you to have
Yeah,
multiple.
yeah,
I've never done it, but what
yeah.
do you know about it? What can you tell us, Grace?
I think that's a great idea. I think it's a really great idea. You just have to, um, you just kind of have to swap in between. And like from my experience, I kind of, neglect my personal page, and then because I'm so much into my business page. So you just have to keep that in mind. You have to, just tell yourself like, oh, I need to swap to the next page or to the next profile. So I think that's a really great idea. And then that way, you could just kind of freely post, that you're on your business personal profile, and that you can freely post however, and then you'll have your Facebook personal profile for your family and your friends. I think that's a great idea. I just have so many profiles already, so it's really up to you.
That makes complete sense. And we're waiting. So if you guys have questions, pop them in the chat, and Grace is going to answer those. But one thing I'll say, Grace, that you said today that I tell my coaching clients all the time is I promote Power Hour. That's my thing for marketing, and it's a 3-2-1 strategy. Number 3 is you need to reach out to 3 new people every day.
Nice. Yeah.
You need to follow up with 2 people that you talked to before. So don't just
Yeah.
leave them, right? And then put 1 post on social media. And if you do that every single day, it is going to grow your audience.
Exactly.
And your audience, right? It's percentage rule. We know about percentages for in bookkeeping. The bigger your audience, the more clients you're going to get from that.
Yeah,
So,
I love that. And that's kind of what I mentioned in the beginning of the slide is like you need to figure out like those 2 to 3 things that will work for you. And, that's going to work with your time, however you feel comfortable marketing yourself. I don't think it's a one strategy that fits everybody. I think it's still good to know several, but then kind of pick and choose what's going to work for you and what's going to keep you consistent with that, because if you're not comfortable doing a marketing strategy, you're not going to stay consistent with that, so I recommend doing one that you're comfortable doing as often as possible and something that, you feel empowered to do as well, because that's really what's going to help grow your business is those, simple things that you do on the consistent basis.
Absolutely. And you used the word we've been talking about all week this week, which is consistency. And Grace is not in our group, guys. So she did not know that word was in there.
Yeah.
But we talked about being consistent, and it is about that. Like you can have the best marketing strategy, but if you're not consistent with it, it's not going to work.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
And, you as a bookkeeping business owner, you probably have a handful of emails that, that you had collected over time. Like, don't neglect that. Like, if there's, if there's a way that you can reach back to them and just say, hey, I just want to know if you're still interested, or just giving them friendly reminders. In our membership, we also provide email newsletters, so you can even just send them like a holiday post or a holiday email, or something really simple like that. But I think the key thing is to kind of warm up, because that's the warming up is really what's going to build the trust. And then once the trust is built, then it's just going to really happen naturally when they decide they're ready for your services. So I think that's pretty key.
Absolutely. Grace, there's one more question that I'm seeing, and there's more popping in here. But Alicia asked if there are any niches right now that you're seeing more active on IG.
Oh, on Instagram? I see a lot. And the thing about the niches is that it's kind of tricky because, there are some business out there that are popping off, and like you think that they're going to be a really great industry and niche, but they're really just like business owners that are just starting. So they may not even they may be active on Instagram, but they may not even be able to afford your services yet. So I like to focus on like the fundamental niches, like the real estate industry, construction, uh, interior designers. Like those are professional industries, lawyers, there's a ton more, but I think you should focus always on those fundamental industries, and then like the ones that are kind of popping up, like course creators, coaches, it may seem like they're be great niches, but they may not be ready for your services. So those are some things to think about when you're, finding that niche, and then also finding, your ideal clients online. Oh, and then one other one was like chiropractors, mental health professionals. Those are like really good, strong professional industries. So those are some ones to consider. But like the course creators and the coaches, like I kind of stay away from them, because they kind of feel, I don't have enough they may not have enough like foundation to afford, your services.
Very good point. I love that. I
Yeah.
love that. All right, let's see. We have two more. One is I am active on Facebook, but I was wondering how much value there would be in being more active in places like Instagram or LinkedIn. How do you feel about other platforms? What's your favorite, Grace?
So my favorite, I actually, my business model is a little bit different because I sell like low ticket offers, but my favorite is Instagram just because it has, for the reason of like they just have lesser strict community rules, and that just like, if you don't get blocked, and like that is just, that's a great thing, not to be able not to get blocked by Facebook. So I like Instagram for that reason, because it's a lot easier to reach your niche, with a personal or even like your business page, which we recommend is your business page. As far as LinkedIn, my strategy is a little bit different for LinkedIn. I recommend just kind of like Facebook, you want to grow your network, you want to grow your connections. The DM may not work there because it just kind of feels kind of like overdone over the past years. But I think just growing your network, your connections, and then also posting often on LinkedIn is good. Yeah.
I agree with you 100%. Yeah, the DMs are not alive on LinkedIn for some reason, but building your circle is what I
Yeah,
call it in LinkedIn, right? Building
exactly.
that circle, commenting on other people's
Exactly.
posts,
Engagement. Yeah.
just engagement. Yeah, 100%. Yes. And Candace, I hope that answers your question as well. If you have more, pop them in here. But Grace, I want to know because I know all about them, but other people may not know. What all do you do? How can you help us with all this marketing stuff?
Okay, so we have the marketing membership, which we you can plan, you can do it yourself plan, and you'll have access to all of the monthly content, from posts to emails. And then we also have like an extensive bonus library. And I recommend, just setting aside a couple days, just kind of go through, what's all in there. The main thing you want to do is set up your Facebook, set up your Instagram, and all that stuff. And that we're the thing that differentiates us from like other memberships is that we actually are here to support you. Like there's live support, there's Facebook support. Just send us an email if you have any questions about how to set up your Instagram or how to do a certain thing or your lead magnets. But we pretty much try to provide as like everything that you can do to set up your online presence and start getting clients online. And we also started releasing white label digital products because we found that, you know, um, with bookkeepers, they run into a lot of situations where a lot of potential clients weren't able to afford their services yet. So started creating those so that we can still they can still get the foot in the door, but still profit from it. So it's also another way to get clients online because digital products have become really, really popular online as well, like on social media. So we have those memberships that do it yourself, and then you can hire us to do all of that for you. You can hire us to post and to brand and post your social media content, and then also your email content. And then you can also hire us to brand and launch any of the templates that's inside of the membership. So if you just say you don't have any time to create your lead magnet and launch it, then you can hire us to do that for you. Same with the white label digital products, and then with like a hire when you hire us to brand and post, you'll have a little bit more perks, which means like if there's any templates that you want us to brand, we'll brand that for you. And then and then the last thing is the lead generation. So that's one thing that I mentioned. And the third slide is where we go out and reach out to your ideal clients on Instagram, and we follow like a specific script. And our goal for that is to either get an email for you or have them book a call. And so that's one of our more popular services, but we don't recommend it to everyone. We only recommend it to the ones that have a niche and that want to be active on Instagram. But yeah, I think I covered, pretty much
Yes.
everything that we offer, and then our services.
Awesome. Awesome. Do you have pricing by chance, Grace, off the top of your head,
Yeah,
for what
so
they are?
yeah, so the do it yourself is $32 a month. You can cancel anytime, and then to hire us to brand and post your social media content is $192 per month, and you can cancel anytime. And then the lead generation, we have a special rate for Stephanie's community, and that's $172 for 4 weeks of service. Yeah. And
Gotcha.
then of course with Stephanie's affiliate link, you'll get, if you join as a do it yourself, you'll get 50% off the first month. And then if you want to do the next plan up, which is to hire us, then you'll get, I think, 40% off your first month.
Yes. Yeah. So if anybody needs those links, send me a DM on Facebook. That's where I'm at all the time. Head over there and just say, send me Grace's info, and I'll send you all the stuff. I won't see the chat here. I know, Bree, I know you just sent me that. If you'll send that over to DMs, my assistant will get that to you. But I will say this for lead gen. So Grace does my lead gen personally. It has been absolutely amazing. I've gotten my money's worth and then some. We're bookkeepers, right? We're all talking about ROI. Okay. Let me just tell you guys, you're going to get your ROI with Grace like over and over. Grace and I were talking about this before she came on live, and I was telling her I have a coaching client who started with Grace. It's been a while. But then she started doing lead gen with Grace. And since she started doing lead gen with Grace and coaching with me, she has 10 times her revenue, guys. 10 times. Could you imagine? Add another zero to the end of your gross revenue, right? That is what has happened to this coaching client. So kudos to you, Grace. We really appreciate you. Guys, if there were any questions that were not answered today, if you posted it in here, there's a lot of stuff going on in the chat that we may not have gotten to. All you have to do is send me a DM, and I will get with Grace and I will get your question answered. Trust me, we will get that done. And Grace, again, I appreciate you being here with us this evening. Everybody who joined us, thank you for being here.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yay. Awesome. So, guys, I hope you have a great evening. Thanks for being here, and I will see you. What do we got going on in the group? I don't know. Oh, we have 5 a.m. club on Thursday morning. Grace, if you ever want to come join us at 5 a.m. to work, come and join
that's
us.
awesome.
Yes. So hope to see you guys there. Hope to see you guys in co-working next week and all the things that's going on in the group. So you guys have an amazing rest of your evening, and I will talk with you soon.
Thank you. Bye.